Today I'm going to show you some things that I've modified. You need help? Everything around you is like pitch black, and it's gonna be like the best video game you ever had. It's actually gonna transmit that signal from that camera down to these goggles that I'm wearing standing on the ground. Because forward is forward, left is left, and right is right. Nice little rooftop landing on the car here. When you're out flying or when you're in boats, you know, this baby is gonna bump around and you're gonna break something eventually. Okay, so I'm putting my goggles on right now. And I got this great view of my surroundings. Let's pretend this guy had bombs and rockets, and you know, there was a boat sort of approaching my property, and I would fly out with my goggles on and do a little mission. Today I'm going to show you some things that I've modified on the DJI Phantom that we use for aerial photography and stuff like that. So first of all, I have this waterproofed hard case. When you're out flying or when you're in boats, you know, this baby is gonna bump around and you're gonna break something eventually. So you need a good hard case that is waterproofed. It's good if it's waterproof like this one, but if it's not, it's just fine with a hard case. This one is quite good. You guys can fly to Sweden. You can buy it at Clas Ohlson for, I don't know, $10 or something. And all the stuff actually fits in here. I got my transmitter, I got my DJI Phantom, and I got my charger, some screwdrivers, spare props, and I got my batteries all tucked in there, nice and good. And over here I have something that is called Fat Shark, and it's actually not a fat shark at all. It is goggles and a camera. It's a small camera that I can attach to the aircraft. It's actually gonna transmit that signal from that camera down to these goggles that I'm wearing standing on the ground. I got them mainly for scouting new areas, because when you get on set with a client, sometimes the client goes, oh, this is a beautiful set, I really want to spend an hour shooting this, it's really going to be breathtaking. Maybe you see different pictures and you have a hard time trying to, to explain that to your client. So this is a good way to show your client what that footage is going to look like when it comes out of the camera. So you just put the goggles on the client, you put your DJI in there, and the client can stand on the ground and he can see, oh yeah, that doesn't really look good at all. And they're good for many other things as well. If you have problems framing, if you have problems like if you're going to do a follow cam on a car or whatever, sometimes it can be really hard to get the car sort of in the sweet spot in the framing. So this will actually help you do a better photography work. When you put them on, everything around you is like pitch black, and it's gonna be like the best video game you ever had. Guaranteed, lots of fun. I got some Velcro on the transmitter for this extra camera, and I got some Velcro in the bottom of the DJI Phantom. And we put this thing in here, just like that. You get your antenna pointed downwards like that. Then I take the spare cable, twist it around like that. Then I attach the camera on the battery compartment in front, facing forward, same direction as the GoPro camera. And as you remember from your DJI flight training, you have to switch on your transmitter. I'm in attitude mode. I never fly in GPS mode, and that's because the GPS mode is very good for keeping your craft at a certain location, and maybe, you know, if I want to have a cup of coffee like real quick, I switch to GPS mode and sort of drop the transmitter and do something for a second and come back at it again. But if you're doing aerial photography in GPS mode, you're just gonna feel that thing stabilize like that, and it's gonna look like shit. So easiest way to learn how to fly and take some good photos really fast is to stay in attitude mode for as long as possible. We attach the antenna to our Fat Shark goggles like that. We have a battery for the goggles that we attach on the right side. Over here you also have some AV signal out, so you can actually attach this to your camera or any other device and do a capture of what your eyes are seeing at the moment. But the resolution is low resolution, and with the GoPro attached on the DJI, you don't really need that. But you know, if you're doing a demonstration or something, you could transmit a signal to a big screen or something, and everyone's gonna look at that and think, oh, that's very cool, and you might get laid. This is another thing that this housing is good for, is that you can put your DJI on top and use it as a starting platform. In the beginning, you should just elevate your aircraft, get it up there in the air, facing away from the sun, because this has quite some problems with lens flares and if you get the sun straight into the lens. So just take it upwards, facing away from the sun, and when it's up there at good attitude, you put the goggles on and you get really ready to just take them off quickly if you lose control, because like I said, it can be quite tricky in the beginning. So I'm facing away from the sun, and I'm just doing a quick takeoff. And also, this is a good way to get a good feel of the wind and see if all the sensors and all the little gadgets inside that gizmo is really working as they should. Right now we're just scaring the dog. This is like the funniest part of having this, is to terrorize. So we're just gonna take it up really high in the air, away from all the trees, and still facing away from the sun, like that. So start by doing this if you're a beginner, facing just the same way as your aircraft is facing, the DJI is facing. So I'm gonna take this just a little bit higher now. Right now we're at like, I don't know, 70 feet, 60 feet. And there's just a light wind up there. Okay, so I'm putting my goggles on right now. And I got this great view of my surroundings. So right now for orientation, I'm just taking my goggles off. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm bringing her down now. I'm totally committed to this now. I am wearing my goggles and I'm doing a half decent landing, trying to avoid the cars. Okay, looking good. Right now I have a big problem because I think the camera is sort of not in a straight horizon. But I'm gonna go for it anyway. I'm just gonna turn the camera facing the cars and we're gonna put it down like that. Okay, so quite cool, still with my goggles on, and yes, correct, the horizon is like this. That's why it looked like shit when I was landing. But you get the picture. Now, one of the best things while flying with the with the goggles is that it's really easy to turn the stuff around and flying facing towards you. Because forward is forward, left is left, and right is right. Which is not when you're standing outside the vehicle or standing outside the DJI. And that helps you a lot in your flight training. Let's pretend this guy had bombs and rockets, and there was a boat sort of approaching my property, and I would fly out with my goggles on and do a little mission. I would attack that boat and sort of kill it. Yeah, guys, I'm watching you. Okay, coming back home. We're doing some filming in the forest, and this is very good for practice because there's less wind, and if you crash, it's gonna be sort of soft. Red light. So we got some wind here coming in from the side, and we got some low batteries, but we definitely want to finish this video with a nice little rooftop landing on the car here. Or just set her down like that. Ah, bad landing. Okay, see you soon. Yeah, we're in. Hey guys, you need help? Hey!